Welcome to Doing Business with Warren Galloway. I am your host, Warren Galloway. As a business owner, at times it can be a challenge to find the resources you need to grow. However, there are organizations that can provide a resource map to help you thrive and scale your business. On today's show, I talk with Regina Ann Campbell, the president and CEO of Build Institute, about the resources that are available for small business owners. Regina Ann Campbell, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Warren S. Galloway Jr. So happy to be here in this conversation with you.
Well, I'm excited to have you here because we have a lot to talk about. And more importantly, welcome back to Detroit because you are now the president and CEO of Build Institute. Well deserved.
Thank you so much for the welcome back. You know, this means a lot. You and I have been colleagues, partners in crime, and working in this amazing ecosystem. And so I'm excited to be back in Detroit and with you today on your show.
Well, let's go ahead and get started. This show is about what you're doing with Build Institute. Explain to us the historical aspect of Build Institute, but also talk about the great things that you have planned for the future with Build Institute and the community that you support.
Certainly. Great questions and a great opportunity to talk about Build Institute, its history and impact in Detroit, the region, and beyond. And so Build Institute was actually founded by April Boyle in 2012, but it was established to help people take their ideas and turn them into businesses. And so you started with Build with an amazing national standard Build Basics program to come out with a business plan, test proof of concept so that you can literally start a business. And so a lot of folks started at Build Institute, many who have gone on into brick and mortar stores, having tested out a proof of concept, whether they had a food truck, a pop-up, some online e-commerce, they were able to start with Build. So we provided education, entrepreneur education, which is a staple proof of concept between having our pilot space where people can pop up and sell products and test out pricing strategies.
I want to talk a little bit more about the Kiva loan because it has an important place when it comes to supporting a lot of startups, a lot of businesses that are coming out at the ideation stage. Can you talk about the particulars, how that program works? It's a combination of a crowdfunding campaign as well as a microloan. So can you talk about that capital access tool?
So Kiva, as you know, is one of the capital opportunities for some of our businesses. Detroit Kiva Hub was actually the first, and it was with Build. So Build is actually the first Kiva Hub actually in the nation that was launched. Before it used to just be international. So we're proud about our capital resources there. And then particularly the talent piece, having executive and residents help them in real time around their business and sort of their pain points. I'm a Kiva lender. I've been since our Detroit market. One, because it allows you to invest in businesses that you care about, quite frankly. And my thing is women, Black businesses, immigrant businesses, brown business. So it allows you to invest at increments of, $25 at a minimum, all the way to what you decide. But it's a great way for new entrepreneurs and existing micro businesses to secure 0% debt on the loans when they're paying back. And you can start from sort of $5,000 as a result of sort of COVID. They decreased the amount for people to sort of get buy-in all the way up to $15,000. Used to be where it was like $10,000 up to $10,000, but they moved it to $15,000 due to COVID. So it's sort of a crowdfunding platform where you can have your friends and family and community invest. And typically what has happened for us, which has been really good, we had the support of LISC and New Economy Initiative, who've made some investment where they will help us match dollars, quite frankly, that come in based on what's been donated or contributed as investment. But at the end of the day, it was one of the key things where we got investment to match funds. And then during COVID, the support from our funders also helped us be able to pay the debts to certain National Kiva, wow, which was really good during the COVID time. And so it is a first step opportunity for folks who it isn't about your credit per se as much as it is, character-based lending and community investment. I think that's what's different You're not looking at somebody's credit, you're looking at their business model, the value proposition for community that matches what you care about. Some things I see on Kiva are sort of those social enterprises. And as I mentioned, I have a social enterprise. And then ones that are the for profit business model, whether it be retail or a community good. So I think I see Kiva as the first stop, just like we say at Start with Build. I
Right.
really see that as the key capital component to start with as a path forward.
So, Regina, based on your experience in Memphis, what are some of the unique and innovative things that you will be bringing back to the city of Detroit?
I think that's an interesting question. It's an important question in that as a team and as a leader, we've naturally evaluated things based on entrepreneurs' feedback. We know that COVID has impacted businesses in a number of different ways. And so, between the surveys with New Economy Initiative and others, we've been able to talk to some of our entrepreneurs too and get a sense of what do they need.
Right.
One, no surprise, Warren, I know you know that there's existing businesses that are very early stage that may have 50 or less employees, in particular 10 or less employees, and they need help, right? They need levels of additional entrepreneurial education, different levels of capital available for them, as well as subject matter experts and consultants to help them. And so Build has just about over 2,000 alumni. And so we will be leaning in to support those alumni. We have already started this year. We started doing what's called Rebuild, which is a class for existing businesses to kind of pivot if necessary, but also explore opportunities when they might have wanted to launch a new product or service. COVID has created some opportunities for folks to say, take a step back. What can they do now as a path forward? And so Rebuild is a great product to do that. It's stellar. And so we'll also be having some other classes for our alumni, like Master Cash Flow, again, for existing businesses who are very early stage. But what I want to get to, something that's close to my heart, and I know yours as well, is this capital piece.
Yes.
There are a number of things that we know there's capital, let's just say funds available in our marketplace. However, there's gaps. When I say there's gaps, there are certain type of businesses that we work with who are micro businesses, whether makers or musicians or small scale manufacturers, foodies, retail, you name it. But there isn't a specific set of capital to meet them in those areas where there's like 10 or less employees, right? And so the work in Memphis, we did a lot of community-based capital, and you had an opportunity to meet Anthony Young, who participated in your microlending great national conference, doing some community-based capital, where what that meant was we were building solutions to meet entrepreneurs where they were. There were certain needs, and we built certain funds that would help them access capital. So for me as a thought leader, particularly in this role, I really want to be able to help collaborate in the space around capital so that if there is a maker coming in who has a very great idea coming through Build Doors, that there is a way to seed that money. You know how you have high growth and tech side, there's a seed round and all of that. But we need to seed these entrepreneurs and these micro businesses, these community-based businesses in a variety of ways, and that's a miss. Additionally, with partners, I want to be able to collaborate around investments, particular to the Black community. Across our nation, we've constantly said, particularly when we're doing the work in our community, we want to give back and invest in our community. However, there hasn't necessarily been vehicles or initiatives or opportunities to bring us to the table. And so in Memphis, we did a variety of things that was beginning to incorporate and bring Black dollars into investing into local businesses. So this capital thing will be very critical as we go forward to make sure we have the great education. Build has been known for that. We have subject matter expert and consultants, but what we do not have is capital available when they get to a point and they really need that. Some of it's grants, right? Some of it, well, I like to say, is dilutive investments. Some is debt and equity, but there is extreme gaps when it comes to sort of non-tech community-based businesses and capital. And the money is out there. We just have to create the funds and those opportunities for them. So I know I've said a lot.
That's okay.
These are things that I care about. I know you care about, the ecosystem cares about. which will be important for Bill's path forward, including collaborating. You know, I've always been a collaborator. And for me, I care about sustainability. So that means it to not duplicate efforts because it doesn't benefit the entrepreneur when several organizations are doing a variety of things, pulling on the entrepreneur from sort of left to right. If there are partners that are doing things better than we are, I would rather source an investment into that organization to support our entrepreneur across stages than us having the same resource in house. So more collaboration as a leader going forward to sustain the system. In every decision, just so I think it's important that this is reiterated, that I make or we make as a team, it has to do with the entrepreneur at the center. Any event, it doesn't support, help, stop a burden, address advocacy in some particular way. If it's not about the entrepreneur or business of the entrepreneur, Build Institute, we will more likely than not, we're going to say, no, that's not for us. We bring the entrepreneur in the room at the center of every decision, every activity, because that's why I've been in this work for 20 plus years as an economic developer. That's why our team of great thought leaders are doing this work. And so again, we are about the entrepreneur, sustainability. And I always say, people look at me like I'm crazy when I say it, if we work our way ourselves out of a job, then we've done some good things.
Absolutely.
And with COVID, now more than ever, to me, we don't have the time to fall all over one another in an ecosystem. We must collaborate where it makes sense. There are things that Build Institute is tremendous at, has been through the history, and will be going forward. There are great things that other partners in the ecosystem are great at, but let's leverage our assets and our strengths for the good of the entrepreneur.
So thank you. So if I'm an entrepreneur, I have a business over off Livernois and Grand River, use that as an example, and I want to utilize the services that Build Institute offers. How do I move forward in connecting with Build Institute?
So first, I would say you do a couple things. One, you can go to our website, which is www.buildinstitute.org, or send an email to hello@buildinstitute.org. There are a series of classes and resources that are available through our website to connect to us directly. And then two, our team, we're a team of entrepreneurs.
Yes.
So there's some thought leadership and opportunities that we can engage in from a one-to-one to give you guidance on how to move forward. So those are very quick ways to reach out to Build Institute to support them as a path forward. And I will say, just so you know, it's been COVID, but we have an amazing innovation hub over there on Michigan Avenue in the corner where the old Tiger Stadium is. There will be some opportunities where at some point we will have in-person events and classes. We want that space to be a community space where people feel welcome and engaged and excited about business and excited about community. So that's sort of a teaser. Watch out for some sort of spring kind of outdoor things coming from Build Institute. While we continue to do virtual classes, that will stay with us forever, right? And we will have in person when it makes sense to do so. And you know, like I know, you can have, we've said this, Warren, in conversations over the years, you can have the best entrepreneurial education in the world. You can have the best subject matter experts like yourself, Jesse Cole, and a number of others. But when there's that capital need, you need cash to do business, and it's not available, you hit a barrier that you can't overcome. And so this capital piece, it resonated even more about why the due diligence around thought leadership, Kiva, and some other loan products and funds we've got to create for community-based businesses. We've got to also advocate, quite frankly. And so my team, our team at Build, we have somebody who is a city councilwoman on our team from Harper Woods, Ernestine Lyon. She's involved in a number of different things that support us from an engagement and economic development piece. And so advocacy is starting to peak its head. When you talk about sort of what did COVID do, I think it's helping nonprofits say, oh, I guess I need to advocate for our customers and those we serve.
Wow. Well, thank you. This has been really great information. My last ask of you is, can we maybe come down and see your office and see the work that you're doing, your training sometime in the future? Because one of the things we want to do is follow the organizations that are supporting Detroiters and their businesses, and let people see what you're doing as opposed to doing it on the show.
And I'm smiling because, of course.
Okay. Thank you.
We would definitely welcome an opportunity. We're virtual now to invite you to be able to see and experience what the virtual environment is. We also welcome, I'm usually down there on Tuesdays and Thursdays. We haven't opened the space back up officially, but I'd love to show you around the amazing space. Again, Warren,
Okay.
and talk to you about some of the things that are happening with Jennifer Crawford. All Things Marketplace has been
Yes.
really, really great. She does shipping and fulfillment for local entrepreneurs, and we absolutely love it. Our Billgrass products are in there, local makers too. And so you'll get to see a sense of how we utilize the space for the entrepreneur that we serve in the area. So
that's awesome. Well, Regina Ann Campbell, thank you so much for participating in the show. And we'll definitely be in touch. And thanks again for being a guest.
Thank you for having me. Hugs to the family of entrepreneurs y'all have.
Yes. Thank you.